Hey everybody, it's Stephen. So yeah, I've been thinking about this altar that I'm going to be building on the other side of my stone wall over there, next to the holy well that I'm going to dedicate to Noah in this 170-year-old hand-laid stone building that I've created this sort of prayer space in, but formalized inside the stone, right? And the stone being the original embodiment of the building in the earth, and this room being more of maybe a noetic, right? So Noetic, noetic is, I think it's a Greek word. Has to do with thinking, has to do with in our heads, dreaming up a thing. So this room indeed was a dream in my head that I would create inside the walls of this embodied stone building that I'm in. I'll zoom out a little bit here if I can. I don't know if I can. I can't. So, but anyway, so I think it fits the analogies really well, of that, of how Christianity began in a more embodied state, more written in Syria or in Palestine, maybe in Mesopotamia. That a lot of the scriptures, were written in the East. There was no concept of noetic. Noetic is a Greek thing. It's a Western thing. It's a thought thing. So you can say that this constructed room that's inside the stone room of the building is the noetic. This is the thought space. The thinkings, the icons are the projectors of divinity into this liturgical area, right? The way that I've been describing this is it's a very noetic thing. It's not. I think it's actually real as well. But the point is that it sounds it sounds created in the head, and then how does this thing that we've created in our head fit in the world? Noetic. And in Orthodox Christianity, and maybe in Christianity in general, we have this idea of a noetic altar, that God has a noetic altar, that we can present ourselves before God in an altar that exists only in our head. We think that it also sort of projects into a real altar in heaven or something, but the point is that noetic is the thinking, is the dreaming, you might say, is the human capacity to create, and then we try to take that human capacity and make it universal, make it divine. So this space is an attempt to divinize the noetic idea that I had for originally a theater, right? This was behind me was the screen. But is now a prayer room, right? Is now a prayer room. So yeah, this idea of noetic. And when I first came to Orthodoxy, it was very appealing. I come from science, and in science we like to think, and we like to think up, ideas about how the world works, and then transfer those ideas, test them in the world, and see if the world complies to the idea. So that's a sort of a noetic process of science. But the more that I've been in the church, the more that I've seen. Wait a minute, this is not how Christianity developed. Christianity developed from the stone room from the earth, and became a noetic process for us. Didn't begin noetic. God created the universe, and the universe is not a noetic idea. It's not a human idea. It's some other kind of idea, right? So the more that I've been doing Orthodox Christianity, and now it's not even 2 years yet. So maybe it's about 2 years since I started thinking about it. So let's say 2 years, not long. But in that period, I've slowly been drifting east. I've slowly been coming to the idea that no, not noetic, not in your head and create the space of heaven. It's that the heaven is the earth, and that we derive our ideas of divinity from the heaven that is the earth, right? So the anti-Gnosticism, right? The anti-idea that the earth is bad or the earth is separated from God. I'm slowly getting to the point. It's really a Mesopotamian idea. It's old, right? It's the idea that that God is embodied in everything of the earth, but not in a polytheistic way, in a unified way. So this this all sort of came really together, but that's why I'm thinking let's do things in reality with the stone. So rather than continue, I mean, I think I will, but rather than continue on this project of this noetic space where I dream up the idea and it becomes the earth, right? I want to play in the earth. So there's a holy well, right? And that's of the earth. That's a physical thing. It's not an idea. It's there. And if I build an altar, a physical thing, it's not a noetic altar. It's a physical stone altar sitting in front of the physical holy well, joined to this physical 170-year-old building that I then abstracted into this holy room, right? Into this noetic space of this room. But this is about a week ago, I think, maybe not even a week ago now. I was reading Noah and in Genesis, the Noah story, and in Genesis 8:20, there's a big turn of events. Noah builds an altar, right? Builds an altar of stone, dedicates it to God, and offers to God on the purposely built, dedicated earth stone interface, right? So it's again this Mesopotamian sort of idea of build something of the earth out of stone, like I'm going to be doing with the altar the way that Noah did. I'm doing this in imitation of Noah, because it's obviously a gigantic event in the Bible. God changes when Noah makes an offering on his purpose-built altar. When Noah finally realizes, oh, the world is God, and if I recognize God in the world, then I can offer that idea. I get it. You are embodied in the world. Here's an altar, and I'm offering up to you these things that I'm sacrificing, right? I'm sacrificing a good thing to you in recognition of that this altar thing is important. It's important that I have something that's built of you and that I offer to you. I offer unto you, right? Which is what we say in the climax of the Orthodox liturgy. We offer unto God his for everyone. So offering the altar made of his stone back unto him in recognition that he created everything in us and we're grateful for it, right? So I want to build an altar. I want to recreate the Noah activity. And what does God do? God completely changes when Noah does this. He loses it. He's like, this is awesome. He's like, he loses it in a fit of love for man. He says, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to create a covenant. I'm not going to mess around in that way that I just did with the flood anymore. And I'm going to give your sons the world. And it's like God having a revelation that the man project might work this time, so badly, from the Eden and through Cain and into the, all the way up to the Nephilim, and everything just went. It's like, how badly could it have gone? You have a flood, you wipe it out, you restart it. And the first thing that Noah does on the restart of the world is he gets it right. He builds an altar out of the stone that is God and offers unto God, which is the stone. The animal sacrifice is also God's, the liquid of the blood is the liquid interface, so that idea that I have about this, the liquidy being sort of the interface. So it's really good. So I'm thinking of it not as a noetic thing, not as a thought that it permeates into the world of God. It's an embodied thing, the world, creeping in and creating the idea. And so I like to call it, since it's a Noah event. Noah is where God's personality dramatically changes to I'm just falling over my heels to love you, right? And so I call it the Noah-tic, right? So Noah, the Noah-tic altar. So instead of the Noetic altar, like say this space created within the earth that God created, a man created space in the altar, the Noetic. What I want to do is right over there, I want to build a stone altar in front of this stone well and dedicate it to Noah. It's the Noetic altar. It's recognizing that the dramatic change in the Bible where when you take God's materials and offer them back unto God, and you derive a thinking idea of that out of it, that's the right way. That's the way it originally was. And this inverse of it that we got through Greek philosophy, through the Greek language, through the words like Noetic itself, sort of inverted Christianity. And really, we think of the Greek input into Christianity is extremely formative, and right, it sort of integrated the thinking world of the West into the embodied world of the East. But in doing so, we ended up with Noetic altars instead of Noah-tic altars. And I want a Noah-tic altar, in addition to the Noetic, the thought altar that I have in this space. So that's for today. Thanks.